Approximately 13:15 today, the merchant vessel Tabuk registered stress signal to Missouri that it was on fire. The fire reportedly was in its main space engineering room. The CO, Captain Case, decided to send over a P-250 and part of the at-sea rescue and assistance team to provide assistance to the Tabuk.
Seconds after spotting an object in the water, Seaman White, who was a forward lookout on his station at that particular time, reported to the bridge by sound-powered phone that he had an object in the water that could possibly be a mine. And it will be going off in 14 minutes. The charge has been set, so if you want to see it, it's going to be on the port side. Grab it. We can't guarantee the time, so you better be ready. The mine is not a terrible thing to waste.
After getting out, actually touching the mine for the first time and knowing that you could be dead 1 minute, just in milliseconds, and you could be gone. After you put the charge on the mine, you've actually pulled the fuse igniter, know the shot is starting to cook off, and you know in 15 or 20 minutes that the mine's going to be detonated. It's a tremendous feeling. We're just like a bunch of school kids again.
It's like a big game, like Master Chief said. It's like an athletic event. The adrenaline automatically pumps in. You know that mine is designed for death and destruction. And while you're out there, you're going to be a big part of that if you mess up. And that's in the back of your mind, so every step you take extremely slow, and it's a thought-out process. And in a way, I guess you can say you've cheated death. If not cheated death, you possibly kept a ship from being dead in the water or taken out of action. To this day, I'm looking for more.
There, this is the captain speaking. I just had Reveille pass. Give all hands a chance to get up, get their shipmates up, and get a chance to get a head call at. In approximately 10 minutes, we will be going to general quarters, and we will be going to general quarters for real. We are currently in receipt of a strike order, and we are making preparations to launch Tomahawk within the next hour. Zero quarters, all hands on your battle stations. We have now gotten to the point of the game where we're playing for real.
The liberation of Kuwait has begun.
Throughout the entire sky, there are flashes of light. Something is definitely underway here.
God.
At approximately 0100, Battleship Missouri entered war for the third time in its 50-year career. Missouri was at the forefront of the beginning phase of Operation Desert Storm, as the ship launched 6 Tomahawk cruise missiles in the early morning hours and 6 more later in the morning.
grateful for the job that we do. We are grateful for the part which we play in this theater. We are grateful that you have spared us in our ship.
Allied air forces began an attack on military targets in Iraq and Kuwait. These attacks continue as I speak. Ground forces are not engaged. This conflict started August 2nd when the dictator of Iraq invaded a small and helpless neighbor. Kuwait, a member of the Arab League and a member of the United Nations, was crushed. Its people brutalized. 5 months ago, Saddam Hussein started this cruel war against Kuwait. Tonight, the battle has been joined.
Desert Storm is now in its second day of operations. According to news reports, Allied bombing and missile launchings were similar in quantity to the first day of the war.
Missouri continued to support Operation Desert Storm today with a Tomahawk land attack missile launch window this morning and one scheduled for this afternoon. The first mission was to include the firing of 4 Tomahawks. However, after 3 perfect launches, a misfire occurred in the 4th missile.
Unexpected general quarters was sounded before lunch when USS Lethbridge reported incoming enemy aircraft. In the afternoon, the ship fired 4 more Tomahawk cruise missiles and fired 4 more in the evening.
The courage and the professionalism that's been exhibited by all of the people that have been involved in this campaign in the last 36 hours is nothing short of inspirational.
Day 3 of Operation Desert Storm was relatively quiet for Missouri. The ship fired no Tomahawk missiles during the day, but will fire 2 missiles tonight.
Although the war seemed far removed from the men of Missouri, that didn't mean the crew or the ship was letting down its guard. With the temporary quiet, many crew members found themselves out on deck performing the many daily and routine tasks that may have been neglected in the previous 2 days. Good evening, I'm JO2 Scott Thornblum, KBMO News. Today is day 4 of our war in the Gulf, and though it may not seem like it, the war is still definitely going on in both Iraq and Kuwait. Aboard Missouri, the war seemed a long way off as the ship conducted a half-day of holiday routine. After lunch, however, the crew was reminded of how close we really are as another Tomahawk missile was launched from the ABL deck. The launch brought to a total of 28 Tomahawks that have been launched from Mighty Mo.